Next up is wide receivers. So as you guys are I am the other Coach Thomas, and as Coach G put it so eloquently 2 years ago, I'm the old Coach Thomas. So thanks, Coach G, for that. As these guys are coming up, so we had the old linemen. They're known as the Rhinos. So I've coached the wide receivers for 4 years now at Chatfield. When I came here, we had the Rhinos as the old linemen. We had the Raptors, were known as the running backs. And so I tried to come up with a moniker and a name for the wide receivers. And without going into too much detail, because I could speak for probably 10 minutes on this, we're also known as the Roadrunners. Okay? So it's not the Roadrunner cartoon that always puts it to Wile E. Coyote, even though we are fast. Roadrunners are an amazing creature. They are fast, they're intelligent, they're aggressive, they're smart, and they are carnivores. So without going into too much detail, if you want to Google afterwards, Google Roadrunner versus rattlesnake, because Roadrunners hunt diamondback rattlesnakes in the desert, and they kill them and they eat them whole and swallow them whole. So Roadrunners are pretty doggone cool. So these are our Roadrunners. So trust me, I think coaches called me out on it, and I said, just Google it. Not, of course, everything on the internet is correct, right? But there are some nice videos. Anyway, these group of guys are great. I love coaching the wide receivers. Wide receivers, in my mind, even though they get the label of being prima donnas and all about me, and I want to have gold shoes and mismatched colored gloves and visors and all of that, wide receiver really is a tough position. So there are so many things about it when you think about a wide receiver. There is body control and athleticism that you have to have. Think about when the ball's on the way, you have to contort your body to adjust to the ball. Okay? You have to have strength to get off of jams. When Goose is jamming everybody in practice and nobody can get off of press in practice, yeah, no, I see you, Goose. Notice you're not standing up here. So, strength, but also going up in your battle to catch a football. You know, you got two guys going up for a football, you got to have strong hands, but you also got to have soft hands. Okay, those balls can hit you, and if you don't have soft hands, it's a tough catch. How old are you guys, really? All right, I took back whatever I said about them being prima donnas. It's all true. That's sunglasses, Charlie. But they also have to be smart. They have to be smart. They have to be smart because they have to identify coverages. They have to identify when to adjust the route, when to break in, when to break out, when to take it deep, when to snap it off. Okay. So there are a lot of qualities that go with being a wide receiver that maybe don't get unnoticed. So the very first day of practice every year, what is the first thing I say to you guys? The very first practice when you go to Indy, blocking. No block, no rock. And so we are, and I am adamant about blocking. And so we have 4 wide receivers in our offensive set this year, and there's only 1 football to go around. And so if we have a run play, guess what these 4 wide receivers are doing? They better be blocking or they're not going to be on the field. And so these guys have done a tremendous job all year. They've taken that to heart. We spend an inordinate amount of time working on blocking, and I know they get tired of it. They just want to go catch footballs and run fade routes in the end zone and have all the quarterbacks just throw it to them. But we spend a lot of time working on blocking because I say that's the difference between a 6 to 10 yard gain versus a touchdown. Because if you're blocking your foot off down the field, you're going to make the highlight reel because you did your job. And that is super incredible. And that's the difference between lazy receivers and receivers that can go to the next level. And so I'm so proud of this group. And so we had a lot of stats this year that I put together, but I'm not going to go through that. But one positive is the seniors. Jason's not here, is he? Jason's not here? Okay. But okay, we don't need to know that. So all 4 of our starters this year were juniors. And so I want to give a shout to the senior wide receivers because they weren't always starting. But you know what? They were mentors to the younger wide receivers that we had on our team. And they mentored them, they helped them, and they were always ready that when somebody got hurt, when Colin breaks his finger, when Drew goes down, whatever happens, and you know, they're always ready to step into play. And you know, Merritt got hurt. But I'm so excited for what next year holds for these guys. I would put our receiving core up against any in the entire state. And these guys are extremely coachable. Again, when I tell them day one, you better block, they're looking at me like, what? You better block. And so I know things can get frustrating with receivers. Obviously, they all want to catch the ball. They have one ball to go around. These guys were all tremendous team players. They understand the importance of the position of catching the ball, but also being a good teammate and blocking when that is required. It's required more than it is not. So proud of all you guys, and looking forward to see what's coming next year for you juniors, seniors. Like it's been echoed, you know, the character and the determination and the leadership that you guys have shown all year is tremendous. So thank you guys. It's been a joy and a pleasure for me as well. Thank you.